For the last many days, we've been highlighting the terrible civic apathy in Chennai, the fact that the monsoon has hit and there's zero preparation on ground, evident in the ground reports that we've been showing you. And now, what we feared has happened. A 2-year-old has lost her life in Chennai, falling into a plot that was filled with water, and there was no attempt to pump out the water, seeing the death trap that it was. Let's get you all the latest updates in part 3 of India Today's reality check at Ground Zero in Chennai. And then we're going to be getting you eye-opening details of the kind of corruption that's led to Chennai sinking every monsoon. Part 3 of India Today's reality check on Chennai's monsoon preparedness.
This is the state of affairs outside Satyam Theatre. It looks like the government has carried out some kind of a hurried patchwork. This is just after one spell of rain how the tar has just begun peeling off of this road.
This is a road that is parallel to where Vijay stays, and unfortunately this is a condition. You can see the vehicles, how difficult it is for them to travel.
After we exposed how ill-prepared Chennai is for the monsoon, now a young life has also been snuffed out. A 2-year-old girl died after falling into a plot filled with rainwater.
There was a lot of waterlogging over here. The child has stepped out of her house, accidentally fallen inside this plot, which was completely waterlogged, then drowned, and then subsequently lost her life. In fact, I just want to show you the depth of this. If you can see that cow over there, it's almost fully submerged. That explains the depth of this water inundated vacant plot that we're talking about.
The Stalin government claimed it's fully prepared for the monsoon, but is now under fire for allowing Chennai's stormwater drainage system to collapse, despite all promises of preventing waterlogging. The BJP's attacked the DMK for what they call substandard road conditions.
They are talking about Singara Chennai, which means a clean Chennai, Singapore, Chennai like Singapore and all that. We don't want a city like Singapore. We at least want basic amenities, basic roads where people don't keep falling and getting into accidents. The number of road accidents is one of the highest in Tamil Nadu. The 24 hours of rain has exposed the reality of the Chennai corporation.
Second phase, third phase சொல்லி இன்னைக்கு அரதா நூற்றுக்கணக்கான கிலோமீட்டர் தூரத்திற்கு மெட்ரோ ரயில் பாதை வேலைகள் நடக்குது. அதே மாதிரி இப்போ இங்க நம்ம மத்திய கைலாசாண்ட ஒரு பெரிய பாலம் பணிகள் நடைபெற்றுக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது. இதெல்லாம் நடக்கிறப்ப ரோடு வந்து அங்கங்க கொஞ்சம் டேமேஜ் ஆக தான் செய்யும். ரெஸ்டோர் பண்றதுக்கு கொஞ்சம் முடிஞ்சாதான் வேலை செய்ய முடியும்.
And then there's the iconic Marina Beach, now filled with toxic foam as a result of chemicals being dumped in the ocean. A reminder of the civic mess in the city.
These are the foams that are now actually surrounding the beach. As we speak, there is more that is being pushed by the wave. Such way, when humans and authorities fail to keep a check on water pollution, nature gives us indication, and this is a very important indication of that kind. And you could see over there, the froth as we speak is still developing, building up, and it is actually dotting the entire Marina Beach coast at this spot.
Waterlogged roads, large craters, vehicles at risk, and a puddle that turned into a death trap. India Today's reality check has led to a city-wide campaign as citizens now are joining the call for better infra to deal with the monsoon. With Anaga Keshav and Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today. Why is it that every monsoon we see the situation in Chennai with no lessons being learnt? Very often, fingers are pointed at unplanned development. But joining me here on Super 6 is Jairam Venkateshan, convener of Arapur Iyakam. It's a people-led movement for change, for ensuring that you see the change in society for a better living standard for people. And Jairam, thank you for your time. I want to first begin by talking to you about an expose that you've done about this very issue that we've been covering here on India Today, of the preparedness for the monsoon and the corruption that's led to the lack of preparedness essentially.
Yes, as we are getting into the monsoon, this week we had some heavy showers as well. And the preparedness has been from back to us, because what we are seeing today is that, in fact, what we have exposed today is that the government on one side, the government of Tamil Nadu on one side said that they are going to protect the marshlands. The marshland is a very important water source in the southern part of Chennai. Said Chennai. If the flooding that happens in the southern part of Chennai has to be arrested, we must ensure that Palikarnai marshland is properly taken care of. It must be restored. So they had declared it as Ramsar in 2022. And there is very clear law in the country that no construction can happen within a Ramsar land. But in spite of that, to an extent of almost 15 acres for a real estate giant called Brigade, they have given a construction approval and environmental clearance within the Ramsar land. And by blatantly lying that this land abuts the Ramsar land instead of lying within the Ramsar land. So we have brought this out very clearly today. On one side, you are talking about protecting Ramsar lands, but on the other side, you are blatantly violating the law, and by violating, you have given approval for construction of 1,250 apartments within the Palikarnai marshland Ramsar land. So this is going to create even more flooding in the southern part of Chennai.
No, but Jairam, help me understand this. I've lived in Sholinganallur, so I've seen it firsthand, the kind of flooding that happens every time it rains. It's quite simple, really. There's no place whatsoever for the water to drain, and that's because of unplanned development. At the end of the day, do you think that what we're seeing in Palikarnai right now, and the example you're giving of this one particular construction that's happening on the marshland, it's happened for years together, and that's what's led to marshlands completely disappearing in many parts?
That's true. I mean, the Chennai Metropolitan Development Authority is primarily responsible for a planned development. They are responsible for urban planning. But unfortunately, what we are seeing is that time and again, there has been huge amount of constructions that has been happening in a haphazard manner within the marshlands and water bodies, and the complete apathy, lack of apathy that is there is what we are seeing, as a result of which we are seeing heavy flooding in the southern parts of Chennai. And what we are seeing is that even after seeing the flooding in 2015, even after seeing the flooding in 2023, even after a full bench of the Madras High Court sitting and saying that no part of the water body can be allocated for other purposes, and it is the responsibility of the state to restore whatever water bodies that are there. In spite of all this, the government has been going ahead with this unplanned development, with this entire concretization of the marshlands as well. So, and as a result of which we are seeing the kind of flooding. If you look at this place called Perumbakam, which you are talking about, the Sorinallur part, it is a place where there's a heavy bottleneck to flow towards the Palikarnai marshland. And when there is already a big bottleneck and already people are facing floods year after year, now with such huge construction approvals, it is going to be even more in the future. So that is, so they have not done, the government is saying, the Chief Minister is saying, we are ready for the monsoon. In fact, we are very worried as citizens, we are very worried. How is the government even saying this, that they are ready for the monsoon? Because people are very afraid about what is in store. By the end of October itself, we are seeing the 75% of our water bodies are full.
Correct.
So we are very worried about the lack of restoration of water bodies and other things that has happened.
But Jairam, the question that's constantly coming up here is, yes, there's a lot of frustration, a lot of disappointment. Nothing's been done on the ground. But when you look at this kind of corruption, it's as blatant as it gets, because it's right in front of everyone's eyes that they can see how marshlands are disappearing. Who's benefiting from this? Who benefits from this kind of corruption? Who's pocketing all of that money?
See, it is an open secret that when it comes to construction plan approval and the environmental clearance approval, crores of money is involved in terms of bribe. And over the years, we have also exposed many of these cases where we have even tracked how the money flows back to people at very high places. So therefore, even in this, if you look at it, it's not just the lower level officials who are involved. It is the officials, the public officials at the top. In fact, what we are demanding is the probe must be not only be restricted to the top level officials, but it should also be on the ministers. Because if you look at, for example, CMDA approval, it is not just the member secretary who gives the approval. It is also the circulation note is forwarded to the minister.
Yeah.
So therefore, the minister in charge of CMDA, the minister in charge of forest department, under whom the marshland comes, the minister in charge of environment, all these, when we talk about accountability, we should just not talk about accountability at the lower level, but we should fix the accountability at the topmost level. And that is what we need answers from. Now, question is, let's say the chief minister says, I don't know about it. Now, today you know about it. So you should at least now take steps to cancel it and restore the water body if you don't know about it.
No, I agree with you that, from top to bottom, there must be accountability. That's the only way we're going to see the change we want to in the city of Chennai, because things are already in a bad situation. I can't imagine what it'll look like getting worse right now. But Jairam, thank you very much for your time, for joining us here on India Today. We're going to continue that campaign, keeping our focus on what's happening in Chennai. We're calling it Sink City Chennai, for the very reason that every monsoon we see the city going completely underwater because of lack of preparation, because water bodies get full, and then there's nothing the administration can do. Let's move on now and talk about the other big story that's come in from Karnataka. Rahul Gandhi, weeks ago, had alleged vote chori in a seat in Karnataka. This was the Aland constituency. Now, sources from the Karnataka SIT investigating the case have told India Today that a data entry team was paid money, a few lakh rupees in total, to delete over 6,000 voters from the roll. And according to them, at least 6 people were involved, including the man you see on your screens, former BJP MLA Subhash Gutidhar, who is in fact the former MLA from this seat. According to the Karnataka SIT, he allegedly burnt crucial documents just hours before the raids. Now, the SIT has claimed that 80 rupees was paid for every successfully deleted voter, and a data entry operator working for this ex-MLA's son was instructed to delete around 6,018 voters from the rolls. Listen in to exactly what Rahul Gandhi had alleged a few weeks ago on this.
6,018 applications were filed, impersonating voters. The people who filed these applications actually never filed them. And we will show you evidence of that on this stage. The filing was done automatically using software. We will show you that. Mobile numbers from outside Karnataka, from different states, and you can see on the map, from different states were used to delete numbers in Aland. Karnataka CID by September 25, last letter went in September 25, has written 18 reminder letters. While this is going on, the CEC of Karnataka writes to the Election Commission in Delhi and says there is a matter. Please provide this information. And the CEC of Karnataka multiple times asks the Election Commission. No answer. Now this is absolute solid proof that Gyanesh Kumar is protecting the people who are doing this.
Okay, let me bring in on this broadcast Narendra Rangappa, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, and Samrudh Hegde, spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. Namaskara. Thank you both very much for your time. Mr. Rangappa, I'd like to begin with you. These are serious allegations that are being levelled against a former BJP MLA. The Karnataka SIT is saying that he was involved in this alleged vote chori that happened.
See, let me make two facts clear here. One, a vote can't be deleted without being issued to that particular person. So it is not that the vote disappeared suddenly or it has been disappeared suddenly. There is a attempt only to delete these votes, what the FIR has been made. Okay. So now the first FIR is filed by the local election commission officers. Then the cybercrime comes in. Then the SIT comes in. Then SIT says that this person may be involved. SIT has to finally investigate and give a report. Why are these people jumping the gun? Let them give the report. Let them say this is exactly what has happened.
No, if the tables were turned, Mr. Rangappa, if the tables were turned and this was a Congress leader being named in an SIT investigation, I wonder if you would have said that, we're jumping the gun, we'll wait for a report.
Madam, we are not here to protect any particular person. But a fair trial has to be given to everybody before.
Fair trial, perfectly, yes. But these are serious
your
allegations. Do you acknowledge that these are serious allegations against someone who's a member of your party?
Where is the link between the arrested perpetrators of this operation and Mr. Ralan, MLA Mr. Gutidar? Where is the link? Have the SIT proved there is a link?
No, so the SIT, has said that this data entry operator. The SIT, sir, you've asked a question. You've asked a question. The SIT has said that the data entry operator was working for the ex-BJP MLA's son, was instructed by him.
There is no proof, madam. There is no proof. There is no substantial evidence. This is just an allegation.
Okay.
The investigation itself is not complete. So how can you come to a conclusion?
Okay, Samrit Hegde.
This indicates that a false narrative has been created just before the Bihar election because the India alliance is going to lose very badly in Bihar. So they want to create a alibi.
No, I'll bring in Samrit Hegde now. I'll bring in Samrit Hegde of the Congress. Samrit Hegde, what's your response to the BJP saying we're jumping the gun here?
Akshita, let me begin with the caveat that the SIT investigation is still underway and more groundbreaking evidence may emerge. But the information that 80 rupees was paid per application for the deletion of around 6,018 voters is crucial material. And Rahul Gandhi's assertion of vote chori echoed louder now than ever before. There has been a systematic, targeted and well-orchestrated attempt to delete voters in the Aland constituency. A software of sorts has been used wherein a person on serial number 1 on several booths was used to file Form 7 applications to delete other voters without their knowledge. And each such applicant makes 12 to 13 applications in under 36 seconds each, which is humanly impossible. And at 4 a.m. And Aland is the tip of the iceberg. This is a concerted attempt to murder the very foundation and bedrock of our democracy, that is free and fair elections.
Samrit, what is your response? What is your response when the Election Commission says that, look, even to delete a vote and that of a voter who's not deceased, that's not an illegal vote, there is a process that goes beyond just clicking on a computer screen and the vote is deleted, that there is actually a physical verification that happens?
Yes, but we have to acknowledge that a targeted software has been used, wherein serial number 1 of a particular booth is picked out and they're making applications en masse. And let me remind the Election Commission of India, you have the data, you have the system, and most importantly, you have the duty where you can trace where these deletion requests came from. You can check where these requests came from. You can track these IP addresses. You can verify these OTPs. Why isn't the Election Commission doing so? Why are they in inaction? Why are they behaving like bystanders? Or why are they behaving like participants?
No,
These are key questions that are
no, this is something that, we're going back to what was debated months ago with the Election Commission saying, file that affidavit and then we will ensure that we look into those allegations. Mr. Rangappa, at the end of the day, looking at the details that have emerged or what's happened in the Aland constituency, would you concede that this is extremely concerning and worrying? The details that are emerging from the SIT investigation. And to some extent, many would argue, backs what Rahul Gandhi has been saying.
Madam, I have got 2 issues to raise here about the SIT. The SIT, is it fully equipped to do such an investigation?
What do you mean?
Number 1, because they are dependent upon the Election Commission of India for so many things. Number 2, if you don't trust the Election Commission of India, why doesn't Mr. Rahul Gandhi file an affidavit?
No, but you're also suggesting then, Mr. Rangappa, you're also suggesting that the Election Commission is not cooperating. You're suggesting the Election Commission is not cooperating with the SIT.
Court supervision. If you don't have faith in the ECI, you ask the court to interview. Then you don't file an affidavit either to the ECI, you don't file an affidavit either to the court if you don't believe anybody, and you go on making press conferences. What is it that Mr. Rahul Gandhi is trying to say? An attempt was made to make the attempt that was made It is this party is
Okay,
responsible.
Okay, Mr. Rangappa, again, I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to bring it back. Mr. Rangappa, I don't want political rhetoric. I'm going to bring it back to the first point that you made, that, the SIT is not equipped with this investigation. Who then is, Mr. Rangappa? Because the Election Commission, you'd think, is actually cooperating with an investigation by an SIT. That's what I would assume.
See, if it is constitutional for the ECI to share certain data with any state-appointed investigation team, if it is there, let it be claimed legally. If it is there legally, let them claim it. Let the court be brought in here. The court is a neutral observer. Whether these people are making an allegation about the ECI.
No, so you're essentially suggesting that the SIT is politically motivated.
I say, ma'am, SIT is a extended arm of the Karnataka police and Karnataka government.
Okay, quickly, I'll get in Samruddh Hegde on that. I'll get in Samruddh Hegde when the BJP says, Samruddh, that we can't trust the SIT. It's an extended arm of the government, which is constantly what the Congress says about central agencies as well.
No, Akshita, this is a SIT headed by the CID, or the ADGP of the CID, and 2 other superintendents. You cannot insult their intelligence on a national debate like this through Mr. Rangappa, who has filed it seems like he's filed a wakalat for the Election Commission of India. We are asking simple questions. We have laid out threadbare the data of how 6,000 applications were made using a software to delete voters. This is about the sanctity of the election process. Why can't the Election Commission either help the CID or initiate their own inquiry? This is not a situation where when you're stealing votes, you're not just robbing an individual's right. You're robbing the republic itself. This is a serious issue. Why can't the Election Commission initiate their own investigation, or why can't they help the CID?
We come back then to the same circus of questions being asked about affidavit, about the court's EC, which I don't want to get into. I want to focus on what's really emerged in the investigation so far. But I've run out of time, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. At this point, look, the SIT is investigating this particular case. The details that have emerged, the allegations that have been put to the fore right now is extremely concerning. But we will wait for the complete report to get details of what's really emerged in the Aland constituency. Was there vote chori, as Rahul Gandhi says? Was there unfair deletion of voters from the voter list? The SIT so far in the investigation says it was done at a cost of 80 rupees per vote. We'll get you more details on that. We're cutting across to breaking news coming in. And amid all of the questions about the CM change in Karnataka, the Game of Thrones, if you will, that's playing out in the state, you've now got a Congress MLA lashing out at Siddaramaya's son over his controversial remark. Now, this Congress MLA has said that any time we speak about a change in Chief Minister or have any opinion on this, immediately a notice is issued to us. And he's questioning why a notice hasn't been issued to Siddaramaya's son. Remember, Siddaramaya's son Yatindra had in fact gone ahead and made comments suggesting that, this is the last leg of his father's leadership. It led to questions of retirement of CM change as well. Listen in to what now this MLA has said.
नहीं वही मैं सोच रही मेरे को एक स्टेटमेंट को मेरे को नोटिस दिया हाईकमांड ने बट अभी सीएम के पुत्र इस तरह गलत स्टेटमेंट बार बार किया हाईकमांड सभी देख रहे बट क्यों स्टेटमेंट वो नोटिस नहीं दिया करके मैं भी सोच रही अभी सभी हाईकमांड देख के क्या करना है सामान्य एमएलए भी अलग है मुख्यमंत्री के पुत्र एमएलए अलग है करके हाईकमांड सोच के बात कर रहे हैं.
Never a dull moment in Karnataka politics. Thanks very much for tuning in.